Cage! Let's fight his music with our music.
There's just no way that we can win. That was a masterpiece.
Listen to me.
He rocks too hard because he's not a mortal man.
God damn it, Cage! He gonna make you his sex slave. You're gonna gargle mayonnaise.
No.
Unless we bust a massive monster mamma jam.
Dude, we've been through so much shit.
Deactivated lasers with my dick. Now it's time to blow this fucker down. Come on, Cage, now it's time to blow doors down.
I hear your jables, now it's time to blow doors down.
Line up the stage, cause it's time for a showdown.
We'll bend you over, then we'll take it to Brown Town.
Now we got to blow this fucker down.
He's gonna rape me if we do not blow doors down.
Come on, Cage, cause it's time to blow doors down. We'll bomb drive you, it's time for the smackdown. Beelzebub, we know your weakness, our rocket stuff. We rock the Casbah and blow your mind. We will defeat you for all mankind. You hold the scepter, we hold the key. You are the devil, we are the D. We are the D, 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 we are the D. You guys are fucking lame. Come on, Cage, you're coming with me.
I am telling you, it is the definition between an entrepreneur and an employee. The employee goes to the cliff, looks over the cliff, says, is there a balloon down there? Do I be safe? What happens if it hurts? What if I land on my neck? The entrepreneur, they said, we need to jump off the cliff, backs up 10 feet to get a fucking run.
This town needs an enema.
Fuck.
Who are you? Where's Commissioner Green? Too stupid! You don't really think you'll win. Things change.
You got me! Who's got you?
Everything changed. Yeah, and anyone who tells you different is just lying.
You know who this is? This is Mark motherfucking Sylvester.
Yeah, timed it right. You're on mute. Why are you on mute? Come on, man. You good? What's going on? Sean, hello. Hello. All right. I'm going to bounce him out there. We're going to figure out exactly what's going on. Hit me up, Sean. Let me know what's up. I'm going to bring you back. Ready? All right, that's a way to start the show. Hold on a second. Let me get a hold of Sean. Ask him what's going on. There we go. There we go. We'll see what's up. Welcome everybody. This is I'm gonna wait till Sean gets in here. We'll do the actual intro. I want you to actually figure out what's going on here. Yeah, dude, you're not showing up. Yeah, bounce out, jump back in. There you go. I'll say hi to the chat real quick. We got first, actually, Hail the Lord was first. I saw that. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you. We got Badass Turner in the house. Says, hail, yo. Hail to you. Got Tarks9, member of the channel. Good to see you, brother. Thank you for being here. We got MB Abonner in the house as well. Ahoy. Ahoy to you. Ahoy to you. Hiawatha. I love that name. It's trippy. Makes me want to go do drugs or something. One of these days. One of these days. We got Mark in the house as well. Good to see you, Mark. Thank you for being here. Let's see. Jay from Desolate Souls. What's going on, brother? I said, let's go, boys. Yes, this is going to be a fun show. This is going to be a fun show. If Sean shows back up, we'll figure out what's going on with that. But it's going to be a fun show. We got a topic we're going to talk about that could be a hot topic. I don't know, like hot takes. I'm pretty sure like everybody's kind of in the same boat, but I'm surprised with some of the people that actually support the AI art thing. So we'll get into it. We got Highway Robbery in the house as well. Yo, yo, yo. Good to see you, brother. Thank you for being here. Jeremy Burtz. Noah. Yes, Boomer. Yeah, I have no idea what happened. Like, we were good. We went live. We were just talking. And it's like he was not understanding what was going on. I don't know. It's weird. It's weird. We'll figure it out. But Noah, just chill. All right. Chill on the Boomer thing. Just relax for a second. All right. All right, kid. Appreciate you. We got Jabro in the house. Sean can't hear over the sweet sounds of Jodeci. Jodeci. I finally said it right in his headphones. That could be. That absolutely could be. Yeah, Generation X. That's right, Boomer. Pfft, come on now. Come on now. That's what we are. Well, I don't know how much longer. I got to wait for Sean to get back in here. Hold on a second. Jump back in. Let me get a second. There we go. All right, guys. I'm just going to jump into the show. Sean can catch up when he gets a chance. But, all right, so AI art. It's been something that I was just kind of not paying attention to for a while, to be honest with you. I just saw it popping up. People were talking about it. I saw opinions going. People were for it. People were against it. And I was just like, I don't really care. I was busy doing my own thing, working on my own book, Reaper Destroyer, live on Indiegogo now. Go back it, check it out. And so my head was down. I was working on stuff. But the more I started to notice these Facebook groups, I'm a part of a lot of Facebook groups. I have no idea why. Like, I'm hardly actually in the Facebook groups, but I'm a part of them, right? So I see them pop up all the time, even though I don't go on Facebook that much anymore. And I start to see all of this, these creators now just out of the woodworks, maybe because I'm paying more attention to it, but I'm seeing it now, like these creators coming in and showing off their AI books. And I'm seeing a lot more of it. And then it pulled me into the conversation. I had to check it out. I had to see what it was all about. Let's see. Are you back, Sean?
I believe so. What the hell is that?
Did you not know that you were live?
Nah, fucking Todd McFarlane went out. And I'm like, what's going on? It's a black ass screen.
Oh.
And I'm like, oh shit, this is awkward.
Okay, so you were behind then, huh?
Was I like picking my nose and shit? Because I was doing that.
I don't know. This is the same thing we had a couple weeks ago when I got all pissed off with StreamYard and YouTube. The show, I noticed that the show on YouTube started about 60 seconds later than when I hit live. So our shit was running. YouTube hadn't run yet. And then all of a sudden it popped on and it was off by a little bit. I'm like, okay, so the YouTube feed might be a little bit behind, but apparently the entire thing was behind, including you. So I don't know what's up. So sorry about that, everybody, but we got Sean back, ready to roll. We got Chuck Reardon in the house. AI art is soulless trash. It is. It absolutely is. I got Jeremy Burtz in the house as well. Good to see you.
Is John Rowe here? Wait, is John Rowe here?
He is here. Man. There you go. I know.
Hail to everybody else.
Mortal Rising comic book. How do you got Jeremy? Hail, peeps.
Hail, brother.
All right, let's start the show and let's get into this because we got some fun guests. I want their take on this as well, and then I'm going to go over the point I was about to make. But it's Thursday. I'm feeling good. Welcome to
Art and Stuff. 23 years and a half in the business on technicality. I may just be dysfunctional, but we functional. Hispanic art on paper. Jersey's finest, type 1. Sweets, I guess people are calling me now, but okay. Sean,
huh?
Yeah, Graves and Polton.
Huh. I like that.
Well,
Sean Sweets or just Sweets?
Sweets.
Interesting. What do you guys think about that?
I don't know.
We'll go. We'll see.
I like the
we can make it stick.
Yeah, well, I don't know about that. Sean Aaron, with me as always, my brother and I.
I'm the very talented, very sexy, very distinguished, always narcissistic, but never vain. Staunch defender of Rob Liefeld and Gina Carano, and a lover of all things 90s. Joseph Michael Sontag, or Joe Sontag, if you prefer, as the Pope likes to call me, JMS. Welcome to the show, and as always, what a fucking awesome show it is we have for you tonight. because besides our awesome guests in Hojo and NyRiam, we are going to talk about this AI thing. I'm going to jump back into what I was doing before Sean got into it. So, all right, backtrack. Facebook feeds, seeing these creators posting these books saying, hey, check out this book. It's AI created, blah, blah, blah. So I would go in and look at the art. And the thing that pisses me off is not that people use AI to create art. It's that they use the AI to create poor comic book art and slap pictures onto pages and panels and put bad word balloons in them and then call it a comic book. You have the audacity to call it a comic book. Because when you look at AI art, for people that aren't actively checking it out, you might see an AR image, generated image posted out there, and something might be impressive. Like right off the bat, you're just like, oh, that's really cool. Like that's a cool concept. But then it breaks down under scrutiny. It's like a chick when she flashes her tits, right? The first thing you're going to look at is her boobs all the time. And it looks great right off the bat. You're like, oh, this is good. This is good.
Yeah.
We're right here. And then you get to know the girl, right? You get to know her personality. You realize she's not that attractive. You know, it breaks down under scrutiny. That's what it is. AI art is like just a flash of a chick. That's what it is. I got a couple examples I'm going to throw in here while I'm talking about this. Number one thing is AI can't get faces right. They come out crazy wonky. The only way you can really do faces on AI is to, type in a celebrity or something that they can go sample out of, and then the faces come out looking a little bit more correct. But a lot of this AI art that I just kind of grabbed off the internet, you'll see the errors that's in them. Mostly the faces are fucked up. But here's the thing. When it comes to making comic books, people spend years trying to learn how to sequentially tell a story with art with panels. And it's not just let's put art on a page and call it a comic book. There's a way that an artist needs to tell a story through the page, needs to lead the eye by the panels, by the things that are in the panels, lead your eye seamlessly through the page without the use of word balloons. I mean, that's the whole idea. Then the word balloons come in, you can tell the story, and you help track. A lot of the stuff that I looked at with the AI stuff, and if you guys have spent time checking this out, you'll probably notice it as well, is that the storytelling is by creators that might not actually understand what it is that they're doing to make a comic book. So a lot of the art and pages, the panel layouts are weird. They're confusing a lot of times. Most of the time they're stock because these AI generators will just bring out kind of stock images, like the dynamic isn't there that you would get from a human brain when you're laying stuff out. Like everything you see on Appreciating Comic Book Art Live and the stuff that we talk about here on Thursdays are by real artists that create dynamic layouts and action and energy with how they draw. It's very stiff. It's very stock. It's very boring that you see in AI. Mostly my conclusion is, and I'll bring our guests here, my conclusion is that this is fast food for comics right now. You got a bunch of creators out there that look for making a quick buck. They can go to this AI generated stuff. They can bring up this art. They can put it together and they can say, hey, my story's out there and I'm going to sell this comic book, try to make some money. I think it is beyond lazy, maybe cheating, but crazy lazy. Sean, what do you want to say before we bring the guests on and we can dive more into this and see what they think?
A lot of this is all AI drawn.
Yeah. A lot of these are samples I grabbed off of off Google. Just I tried to grab some good ones too. Just so show the contrast. But the difference. Is
that Zendaya?
Yeah. That one specifically was a comic that somebody put out. It's called like Zara or something like that, of the Dawn, and they use Zendaya as
close down with that one.
Yeah, to get the face, because the AI and. Let's bring on our guests for a second and we'll talk about it.
But most of the other faces look like Muppets that had strokes.
That's right. And that's the thing. Like when you don't fix the faces or they come out looking weird. And the fact that people just put it out there and they're comfortable putting that kind of work.
I feel bad for them that they're comfortable with it. Yeah, bring on the guests.
All right, let's bring our guests on. We have Hojo and NyRiam. We're gonna get their take on here and see what. Let's knock this off here for a second. Welcome to the show, guys. How are you doing tonight?
Yeah, how's it going?
What's going on? What's going on?
Doing pretty good. I think this is gonna be a fun conversation because like I said, I think most of us all stand in the same kind of spot when it comes to AI, and by the end of our conversation, I'm also going to talk about the positive stuff that AI can be used for, because Sean brought up some good stuff the other day that you possibly could use.
Very smart.
He's a very smart man. Yes, very smart young man. But altogether, when I boil it down, guys, and I look at all of us here on this panel, I see creators in the chat as well, besides backers. But the idea that you as a creator could skip all the steps it takes to create a good comic. Like if you're not an artist, if you're a writer, you're looking for a good artist to depict your story. You want to put together the best product you can. And now we have a tool out there that's becoming very popular amongst what I consider lazy creators that can just put out trash work, and then they can just put out comics and call it comic books. Like, to me, it's slightly insulting and pisses me off a little bit. What do you guys
Slap in
think?
the face.
But
Yeah.
does it question the word creator? Like, are you really creating art
No.
instead of like up, down, left, right, left,
Hail,
right? You
Lola.
know, like, hell,
I mean,
oh, good to see you.
what if there's just one little thing in the panel that you need changed? Like, right, like I got a panel back and like something was just a little bit too big. How can you go back and tell the AI, like, do you have to give them like a geographical location on the panel, like shrink this image, circle it, and say shrink this? I don't know how that works, but I mean, I just feel like you're removing that human element from it. It's just
you can do adjustments with the programs that they use, and a lot of the AI art is tweaked with after they generate it, so that, because like I said before, AI is really bad at doing faces. And some of the videos I brought up here, and let me bring this back up while we're
And
talking.
on my faces.
You can focus on the faces. You know, the faces come out weird. Like, it just,
the
it can't
symmetry is
generate.
way off, man.
Yeah. A lot of it's way off. You know, so you can,
Notice
like, that
the-
face. You know what I'm saying?
Notice
Like,
the
Hitting his
six-pack.
yeah, I mean, his arms coming out of his chest instead of his side. You know, like, just there, you can point it out real easy. But a lot of these people, if you have experience in graphic design, you can go in and take the images that get generated and you can tweak them and make them better. I've gotten into some arguments with people online that do that, and they claim like, well, I have to do this, you know, like, so it still takes me this long to go in and, you know, tweak this.
I have
and
to
tweak
lasso
that.
it.
Yeah, and so they're like, you know, so it is creative. You know, it's a lot of excuses with the creators right now, because everyone's trying to make this. It's the new
Oh
technology.
god, the one
We
on
need
the
to-
left.
Right.
right. Yeah,
Oh
exactly.
my god.
It's like everybody wants to embrace this new technology, but it's not good right now. It's highly inconsistent. But there are people out there that are still putting out bad work, and these are just examples I pulled off of comic books. They're free online for people to go and download. And yeah, right. And you know, even stuff like this that looks fairly good, the storytelling is weird because it's just statically placed scenes. It's almost more like storyboarding than comic books. And the whole thing is, you all know, when you're telling a comic book, when you're drawing a comic book, there's an art to doing sequential storytelling. It's not just slap pictures on here. And that's all I see these artists do. These creators are just kind of slapping the pictures on there and trying to get away with it. Got Past Master Dan in the house. Hail.
Yeah.
NyRiam, you are a very accomplished artist, kicking ass, doing a bunch of awesome stuff. Would you see any appeal in the AI art as a tool? And if you also see creators that can absolutely bypass hiring an artist to tell a story just to like save some money and then put out what is a lesser product? I mean, just how does that make you feel as a creator? And is this something that is a threat to you in the future, possibly?
I'm actually very conflicted about this whole topic. On one hand, I know that basically AI is generated from something that already exists, means it's basically a theft, right?
Yeah.
So you're not creating anything. You're just taking and mashing it all together. On the other hand, I remember my college teacher who once said, like, each art or every piece of art that you make, like if you make it with a certain purpose, you know, it can serve the purpose. And I remember he was showing us this picture of a huge statue made of plushies, and it was this form of installation art, you know, to prove like how cliche, you know, the cliche type of art, you know, that was like kind of like modernistic stuff, you know, and that was made, you know, for a purpose of delivering a message. So I mean, like, if you're using the AI art to I don't know, as a tool, you know, that like what you shown is basically generated art without any adjustment. It looks horrible. It looks terrible. It needs a lot of work. You know,
Yeah.
if you don't know how to draw, if you really want to make a comic, you can't afford it, blah blah blah, and so on. Fine, do it. It's your choice. I wouldn't sell it. I definitely wouldn't sell it. There are many platforms that you can offer your story for free because let's say you have a great story to tell, but you don't have the skills or like I said, the financial, you know,
Right.
possibilities to make it, but still you need to put a lot of effort into making it look good. You need to understand comics like you said, because like the positions of panels, the shaping of the panels, you know, the flow of the page, it needs to be there. So the comic is good.
Yep.
So
100%. What do you think, Hojo?
I think it really does, like, you know, because I'm a writer, you know, but I mean I do know art. I think
Right.
it has its place to say, like, I can give a good example, like say concept art. It can help you. It's like a
Right.
shortcut there, but don't use that and say that, oh, here's my cover. Great example. Pixel Trader's working on this little mermaid thing. It's like Arial, like AR-13L. So, but it started off as kind of a shit post, right?
Okay.
So they were making fun of the news that just hit with Disney. He was like, well, check this out. He was like, Little Mermaid, but she's like Merkmaid. And he did like this thing on AI, and it was like this cool little thing of her like circling this black boat. And it's rad.
Right.
But he went and made that into a character, drew all that after that. He's not going to
Mhm.
use that and sell that. That just helped him, and that just helped inspire him. And he didn't completely rip it off of that. He built
Right.
upon it, and you know, but that's still. And I think maybe backgrounds, maybe perhaps it could, you know, I wouldn't sequential. It cannot do that. It cannot think that way. Just like I don't think it could do. AI cannot write a story.
That's true.
I'm
That is
sorry. I'm
100%
sorry. They're like,
fact.
this is.
It can
AI
attempt
written.
to, but it ain't going to be.
It's
Yeah.
predictive text algorithms is all it is.
Exactly.
It's what you think that person would say, and like they're saying, like Jeremy brought it up. It'd be different if they were pulling these names and this stuff from a public domain database. But they're using like, what if it's like some penny, like Frank Frazetta? You know, he didn't die a rich man,
Right.
Yep.
and they're taking his stuff, and you should give that to his estate. You should have to pay a license fee for
100%.
these people.
And
Ask them. So don't just go into DeviantArt and have, oh, we changed our terms of service and now we're using all your shit.
Right.
What? I would be livid.
the funny thing that I've seen, and I've gotten into a couple arguments, not necessarily arguments, but just conversations. Because I mean, legitimately, I don't jump on to just argue with people all the time. Like I want to have a conversation with people when I get on to these Facebook groups, and just I want to ask legitimate questions about the AI art. And almost always they come back to the safety of the fact that it generates from billions of images across the internet. They're like, it samples from billions of images, so it comes out like this an original image. And I'm like, well, okay, so let's say that's the case, but why is it always the fact that it comes out and it looks crazy familiar, like somebody is going to be able to see their art at some point within these generated images? And one of the points I was bringing up to these guys, I was like, what if this takes off? What if this takes off and the technology gets better? Because everyone's saying like, oh, it's just the infancy stage. It's gonna get better. Blah blah blah. So what if that happens? You start
Nothing is gonna
pushing.
happen.
Okay, but let's say something happens where they're pushing money, right? Some of these books are good enough to dupe a reader that buys it on Amazon, that sees a couple sample pages and they buy it, and a book makes a decent amount of money to the point where you start actually getting on people's radars, right? Like there's a book that looks like the actress Zendaya. There's a book I've seen out there that looks like the actress T.A. Carrere. It very, very similar, you know, like you can tell like where these celebrity faces are being sampled from at some point, because you can't copyright this stuff, right? Somebody's going to come calling and wanting their piece of the pie, because like that's my likeness, or that's my
That's
art.
me.
That's me,
Yeah.
you know, or that's my art. And if they take somebody to a court where you actually have people that have no stake in the game whatsoever, and you're saying like, this is AI generated art, this is my art right here, and you hold them up and it looks damn similar, that normal person is just gonna be like, yeah, it's theft.
Yeah.
You owe them blah 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 money.
Put
So
a
if you-
stamp on it, like an explicit lyrics thing. Like
yeah,
or I say put a stamp on it says fraud, but just, you know, it's people should be warned. Like if you're selling on Amazon, it should say this is computer generated art. This is AI art.
I think they have to. I think they
Okay,
do
all right,
say
okay.
that it's generated by AI, which is fine. I mean, a lot of people aren't hiding this or trying to be deceptive with it, you know.
Right.
But right now, it just seems like this free for all where there's a freedom to do it. Where I think once there is a major lawsuit, like a big lawsuit that just takes everything down, I think it might stop this in its tracks a little bit. There is a book that got copywritten, and then the copyright was revoked, but it was able to get the copyright originally because they submitted it as AI assisted art. So that they were able to make the excuse that, hey, I had to still go in and do all these tweaks and do all this kind of stuff. So it's still original art, original this, original that. And they got a copyright for it. But then it has gotten revoked. And I think right now they're going back and forth with it. But that's where we're sitting right now. My biggest issue is like, yeah, that's the future. You know, I get it. Those are just questions I bring up to see if creators are even thinking about this kind of thing when it comes to the quote unquote, could be art theft, could be likeness swapping, you know, whatever you want to call it. But the fact is that are you happy putting out this lesser product? Because an editor looking at a human being drawn artist would tear some of this shit apart if it was a real artist, completely destroy them, you know. So that's kind of the angle I'm going for, is like, I don't care that it's AI. I'm not threatened about my job or anything that I'm doing with what I'm doing. The fact is that this is a fast food comic book being pumped out, and it's not even to a low standard of what a comic book should be. You know, that's the biggest thing that irks me about all of this.
I think the worst thing that just irks me is the fact that they're trying to make money out of that, you know, because I actually have seen, I've also been a part of many Facebook groups, and you can see various kinds of art there, right? You can see comics made from stickman to cartoonish characters. I even encountered like comics made of photos. As a teenager, it's been in a magazine that I love to buy. And the point is like you can make a comic out of different media, you know, like many of those people really just want to tell their story because they think they have like amazing story they need to get out, and they want to use this media. The problem I'm having with is if you're using something that is not yours, you shouldn't make money out of that. Definitely.
Right. Yeah.
I would never use it like to put out a comic book. Like I'd rather pay 10 grand on somebody who drew it, you know, and got it done and watched the process, and just it was our book. It was our book, rather than just be like, well, I'm gonna save me some money and I'm gonna go out here and make all this money. I don't care about that, dude.
Yeah.
There are always like different medias. I'm sorry.
Oh no, go ahead. You're the guest. Go ahead.
I just wanted to say that there are always like different medias. If you're not good at making comics, you can try a different medium. Like in my personal experience, Bond started as a literature. You know, it started as a written prose, but I realized that my English wasn't sufficient enough to make it a good story. You know, without like expensive editors. So I decided to switch a different medium that suited me better.
There you go.
I can't do the English either, so
yeah.
My prose is wicked bad.
Lieutenant Hughes said the indie comic scene is mostly driven by personalities, so AI can be as good as Dale, but it won't beat Dale in sales. Or anyway, yeah, I think that's a possibility. Like, yeah, the AI stuff. I mean, technology is technology. Eventually, I do believe it's going to be good enough to the point where it's going to be passable for certain stuff. My biggest thing is when you look at AI and you look at a regular creative person, whether you're an artist or a writer, that an AI is never going to be able to duplicate the imagination of the human brain. It's just not going to. I don't care how much people worship these computers and technology and all this kind of stuff is like the best thing ever, and it just keeps getting better. And you know, the human brain is still going to be, in my opinion, light years ahead of a computer when it comes to creativity. That's why the layout of pages. AI right now cannot lay out pages. A creator has to specifically determine if they want to do a triangle or a square, you know, horizontal, vertical, you know, and they can create that page, and then they put the image within the page, and then they put the pages together. It's almost like piecing everything together from what I've determined, and kind of like how I've dabbled around a little bit of it just kind of looking into it.
Have you made any?
No, well, a lot of the stuff you had to buy. I was like, I'm not fucking
fuck
buying that.
that.
So like, I'll
Yeah, I
just
would
mess
never,
around with
but
some of the
no.
free shit, you know, and
Yeah.
just to see what the craze is, because I
Mhm.
wanted to know a little bit about what I was talking about before I went in and just tore it up. You know, like I
Sure.
didn't want to just be ignorant about it. So I want to learn just a little bit about it. But if you as a creator, as a writer, if you're not an artist and you're doing this, or even if you are an artist and you know how to properly tell a story, you might be able to manipulate stuff enough to the point where the sequential storytelling is decent. But the problem is you just get stock
Put Larry and
images.
Jihad.
Yeah, you just get stock images of whatever character it generates, you know. And you could say I want a 3/4 shot of blah 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 doing this, you know, and you're going to get something that looks like that. But nothing is ever going to be perfect. So regardless, right now you're just settling on taking an image and kind of shoehorning it into what you want to do to make it work. And that's what I see so far is either artists or creators that don't know the art of sequential storytelling. And just the thing that pisses me off about this is like I've been drawing for a long time, since I was 8 years old. Did a lot of study throughout that time to become a better artist and a better storyteller. And there's just so much to making a comic book that makes it a comic book. It's not just the images, it's not just the words. Like there is an art, there's a love, there's a respect
There's a due
that
process
goes
to it.
into making the book what
Yeah.
it is. You know, regardless of the best books out there or the lowest books out there, there's still that same process to making that be what it is, you know.
Mhm.
And it's just an entire skip process. And I think it's, besides the fact that it's art theft, and I've gone back and forth with people about that, you know, regardless, I think it's stealing. But regardless, it's just you are duping someone into buying a lesser product. And to me, that's just deceitful. You know, regardless if you say generated by AI or not, to me, it's deceitful to say like, dude, here's a comic book, and then somebody's going to flip through it, and they're going to see faces like the examples I had, or they're going to see panels of the examples I have up here. You
She
know,
looked
it's
like she
just-
got kicked in the jaw.
it's a watered down. To me, I think it hurts the industry more than it helps the industry. And I think that's the biggest thing when you talk about indies, because this ain't happening in the pros that I know of. It's happening in the indies, and I think this hurts indies more than it helps the indies.
And then when you get like a cousin Mike that's like, oh, you draw on your iPad, is this AI art? It's like, no, dickhead. It's like, I wish, you know, but no, it's not like that.
I honestly do think like every other software and like platforms are developing like even YouTube with being like banning, you know, and all the censorship. I honestly do think that if many people oppose to AI art, there are gonna be tools that are that are gonna like recognize, you know, they're gonna recognize whether it's AI art, and they're gonna warn you about it,
Yeah,
even if you don't see it immediately.
yeah.
Some of the lettering is just awful too.
Okay, yeah. In the same thing, like it looks like people making comics that don't know how to make comics. Just
I
period.
mean, that's
like
not bad right there.
Is the
but-
bottom line. A lot of this stuff is just, it's poor all the way around, you know, and it really is to me just someone that is skipping all of the steps to put a book out there. And when I see a lot of creators like us that are investing in ourselves and putting a lot of money into it, and then, you know, trying to get people to back that money so we can actually make something that is our dream, and I see people skipping all these steps, it's just, you know, it's disrespectful in a way.
It's
I guess.
disheartening because these fuckers could be on the shitter, swiping on their phone, making a comic, and here we are putting our love into it. It's like, fuck you, cocksuckers.
Yeah.
And the time and the amount of time you spend with each page, you know, and imagine how many pages you have. Those are months, sometimes even years.
Right.
Mike asks, what about an artist that exclusively uses their work as the source of the AI? I don't know. I guess ask that in a different way, because I'm not quite sure what you mean by their source as exclusive to AI.
Like,
I know
that's the prompt. Like they're not like.
that uses their art. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I think that's what he's trying to say.
That's interesting. I actually haven't thought about that.
You could, like,
I mean,
do
obviously,
all your layouts like boom.
right. Obviously,
Wait,
that's
like
not.
they're getting paid for it?
Yeah. So I mean, so you use your own art as the prompts instead of them sampling from
I think that's what he's saying.
billions of other places.
Oh, that's
you
an
know?
interesting take.
So that is interesting.
Yeah.
That
I
might
don't know.
become a business.
Yeah, I mean that's a great thought. I have no idea. You know, if somebody was
Yeah.
doing that, I would have less of the ethical issue with it, and then just more of the fact that, listen, I'm not against technology. I love technology; it's great, especially
Technology hates
phones.
me.
Phones where you got everything at the touch of a button. You can get porn very easily. It's awesome. It's great. Thumbs up. But the technology using for making things easier. Comic books aren't supposed to be easy to make. They're fun to make, you know, but it's not an easy task. You know, anything that is of any kind of enjoyment is not something that's quick and easy. You got to put time and effort and love into what you're doing for other people to enjoy it. And I don't see that with a lot of the samples so far of the AI stuff I've been doing. I'm even part of an actual AI group on Facebook just because I want to see what these nerds are doing and what they're putting up all the time and what they're trying to put.
Look
put
at you
forth.
discriminating. Like
Deep-
you're coming
deep
to like
cover.
hang out like a safe
No, no,
place. Like,
no.
here
He's
you
in
are.
deep. He's under deep cover.
I'm
Yeah.
undercover a little bit. I'm undercover. I got to see what
Fucking
everyone's doing.
killjoy.
Recon.
But I've taken a lot of joy of going into a lot of these groups and when people post and ask what they think, because like, all right, if you're asking what someone is thinking, I'm going to give you my opinion on what it is, and I'll try to go in as respectfully as I can and tear the shit out of the piece for what it is, because I feel like that's what you would get if you were a real artist asking for this or for that. It's almost like if someone starts ragging on you, it's almost like the racist thing. Like they'll throw the AI, or you just don't like AI, or you're afraid of that we're it's going to take your job away at some point, and they retreat into this excuse like they're being attacked instead of having an actual conversation going back and forth about what could make it better or what makes it bad. Why should you not be making this a book? Well, the faces are all fucked up. The storytelling is all weird. You've got a million panels on a page, and where is the page leading? It's just this mess, this absolute mess. So that's what I've tried to mainly go in and argue with these guys about, and I try to be respectful as I can, I guess. Tell us what you use AI for. Wouldn't you like to know? Yeah, I'd use AI for just the fun stuff. Joe in deep cover. I am. You gotta be. Got Matt Barr in the house. Hail, brother.
up?
Good to see you.
Yeah.
Good to see you.
You gotta get him on here sometime.
Bill.
Lobo,
Phil's in the house. Hail, brother. Good to see you. Some person said programmers seem enthusiastic in making AI that makes art. They should focus on things that no one wants to do first instead of something worth doing. Again, general AI art in general can produce some things that are very interesting. Color palettes are cool, because obviously they're sampling from real artists. So they can come up with some cool stuff that is interesting, that's fun to look at. A lot of times, though, it just breaks down under scrutiny when you actually go into detail and you look at the fine detail. And that's what I'm all about. Like, if you show me a piece of art, especially by a detailed artist like Dale Keown or whatever, I'm going to look into all of the line work, all the fine detail, because that's what I love about art. And once you do that with AI, it really breaks down into friggin' nothing, absolutely nothing. It's a waste of time, in my opinion, especially because you can't copyright it. So why are you making a product that really can't be copyrighted? Why are you trying to create an IP that has no chance of really becoming more than it is because it's basically borrowed from somebody else?
Like, I think for like movies, TV shows, whatever, if they build their own bullshit and then use it that way for progress, whatever they're doing to do their shit, that's cool, because they're making their own shit and it's helping them out for their bigger scheme. But for anything like comics or art or whatever, I don't know. But doing your own art for it, that's interesting, I believe.
Oh, Jasper Plan 9 says, I belong to other Facebook communities I disagree with as well. He does it to keep track of his enemies. I like
That's
it.
smart, yeah.
I like it, yeah. Keep those receipts, man. Keep the receipts. AI is okay, in my opinion, when it comes to something like flatting or quick edits, but to create the actual art, nah, yeah. And that's a good point. Like, I've pretty much gone over how I feel about the AI stuff. I'm just going to keep treading over the same points because it's pretty blatant. What would be the benefits for AI? Because Sean brought this up the other day when he and I were just talking about the conversation in general, and he brought up some benefits that you could use, and it made me think, like, okay, there could be some benefits. Sean, you want to go over what you're saying, what you thought were some benefits you could use AI for?
Yeah, I said like 30 seconds ago for like movies and TVs and production and shit like that.
No,
like,
when it comes to the
Yeah.
comics, when it comes to art, comic book art, because I mean that's just a different genre.
Oh, for the art stuff?
Yeah, for the art itself. Like we were talking the other day about possible benefits that could be that aren't part of like the sequential storytelling or making comics in general. Taking
Yeah, I totally forgot that part. But like
okay, I will repeat it.
like maybe like story. I've been smoking a lot of weed. I apologize.
What we had talked about before, and Sean brought up the fact that if you are using AI to help inspire you, like Hojo kind of said, with backgrounds, you want to have a certain type of background. You're stumped on drawing something. You use AI layout and whatever to inspire a layout, to inspire a background or an atmosphere that you're looking for in your story.
Oh, I did say that, yeah.
Character design could be something that could be used for ideas. So you generate an idea based on something you have in your head. You see how it kind of comes out. Then you take that and then you go forward with that kind of example or a reference. That kind of stuff I can get. I wouldn't get on a creator for doing that, because it's still just stuff it's like looking at references online. I go on Google shit all the time when I'm drawing just to get different references of things. So it's not that much different than that. So they could see a benefit that way for a creator or an artist or a writer that's saying like, hey, this is my concept. This is what I'm trying to actually achieve. And you're giving these tips and these notes to an artist who's taking on the actual product or project. I could see that being beneficial, but that's probably the only thing I could really see, in my opinion. Yeah, Chris says using it as a reference. Yeah, same thing, maybe background rendering. Yeah, create your own comics.
I have like I had an idea like early on, especially when all this debate really kicked about. But issues down the road, I have a scene where it's like, it's in the background. It's like they see magic. You know what I'm saying? Like it's almost like an acid trip or mushrooms, or if you've ever taken anything like that.
Done some mushrooms a couple times.
You can add like little details and have the AI like do some kind of wash and do something like that. I feel like that would be perfectly acceptable because you're not creating the scene. Like I guess almost like using an airbrush effect,
right?
Something like that. It's a layer that's added to it. It's not. It didn't create it. It's just. Maybe an enhancement is a better word, or a worse word depending on the artist. Be like, no, I don't like that. You know what I'm saying? But like, I feel like it would have a place there. But like I said, I would never put a cover on and expect someone to buy it. That's a slap in the face to every artist on the planet. In my opinion.
I'm right there with you. For me, I feel like I'm 41 years old. Even if I was 21 years old, I believe that I would have enough of imagination and enough of things I've seen in my life that creating character designs, creating anything I needed for a comic book would be there in my imagination anyway. As an artist, I could depict that. Yeah. I feel like if I wasn't an artist, I could work with an artist to say like, this is what I'm looking for. That person's style, what they can do. You're like, this is what I'm looking for. This is what I'd like to see. And then they come back with a character design. I've done that with a couple of the artists I've hired to work on the supplemental book, and just to see as sitting back for the first time as a writer and giving the art chores to somebody else and seeing what they come up with, based on my story, based on the designs has been great. That's how comic books work. So I feel like I wouldn't need the AI. It would be nothing that really crossed my mind. But again, for somebody that maybe is just starting out, they just want to put something out there. I guess that for inspiration or for reference, I guess would be all right. Some person said AI isn't static. It continues to improve. We're close to quantum computers and general intelligence, the next level for AI being made. Again, like there's a lot of people out there that think that the technology is going to be, virtual reality and all this stuff is going to be what it is one day. And it's just going to be indistinguishable and we're all going to be put out of jobs. Maybe that happens,
But not today.
Not today. Not this day.
Not this day.
So I'm not worried about the future too much. I'm worried about the here and now and the watering down of comics by the AI comic community, creator community out there. And to each their own. Make money, I guess, do whatever. But I think it's shady. The time is now. If you have an idea or a character you want to see in the world, get to work tonight. Yeah, I mean,
Do you think it's worse than tracing? Well, I don't say it's worse. You know, if you whatever.
Compare. You think it's almost
Like-
comparable?
I guess depends. Like who's the artist that does a lot of the like tracing for covers for like Sports Illustrated and puts them on a comic book? What
Allegedly, Greg
does
Land.
it? Who was it?
Greg Land.
yeah.
Yes, yeah, that's what I'm. Yeah,
I was in a DN group today, and they showed something and be like, "What's Greg Land doing nowadays?" It was, yeah,
it's. I don't know. Like, I don't know. That's a
But
great
that
question.
dude can draw. Like the thing is, like that dude's fucking talented. Like he has his reference, but like that guy's very talented. It sucks when he does that rabbit hole of swiping in that degree, you know, because that dude is fucking talented. He could draw a pretty lady without the fucking.
He's still a good artist,
You know,
regardless.
yeah,
He
it
just
sucks.
does a bunch of swipes. I don't know, man. Like, I really don't. To me, they're both bad. Swipes and tracing are just both a bad thing because it's the same thing in my opinion. Even though you are still creating the art, it's still someone else's design and everything. But the AI stuff is just, to me, it bugs me more because it's just the lazy factor. You know, it's being done because it's easy. You know, and it's trendy right now to do it. Like, it's just,
I hate laziness.
yeah, and that's exactly me too. Like that just bothers me at a fundamental level. The laziness of it all. You know,
I think it's a nowadays toy, you know? Like it's
Yeah.
something new, it's something flashy, it's something very colorful. People want to try it, they like it. Who knows where it actually remember when NFTs got popular? Where are NFTs now?
Right.
that's a good point. Good point. I'm wondering about those. I haven't seen NFTs going around in a while. Good.
Not
good
fucking
point.
trending. That's where they are.
Yeah. Yeah, Greg Land, everyone's throwing in the chat. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. Jasper said, I like the idea that AI might encourage artists to level up. There are many who aren't concerned about it at all. Yeah, honestly, I would hope that most artists would want to level up, be encouraged to level up by their peers too, without worrying about the AI stuff. So I'm not worried of AI at all right now. I'm just not. Like, it's just something that bugs me. Like, that's just the thing. It bugs me to no end when I see people posting stuff online about, check out my new book. I got 4 books coming out. Like, this is 1 of 4. Look at these pages. And I look at it and I'm just like,
It looks like 1994 like gamer box art, like all put together. You're like, what the fuck is this?
yeah.
Even
So
I
it's
can
more
rip
of an
some of this
annoyance than
apart.
any kind of a threat at all.
Yeah.
So that's just it. I want to talk about it a little bit tonight, get it off my chest because I've been holding this in for the last couple weeks, and I'm gonna still.
He's been excited.
Yeah, I made a couple shorts about it. I'll probably make some more content going forward, just because it's in my mind now. Like, I feel like I need to rail against it in some way or the other.
You found a new enemy.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. For the first time, I found an enemy to go after, and I'm going to do it. Jay Ryan said, if anyone thinks digital coloring is a cheat, they either don't do it or don't understand it. Hands down. Good call.
Oh, yeah.
PC coloring is like cell work in animation. It's still art. Let's see. So we got the Mythicals #1.
Yep.
And
You funded. Congratulations. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Look at that. 75 backers, 24 days still left in the first
Nice.
30, right?
I saw you like that trailer yesterday, Sean.
It was dope.
It's funny.
Yeah.
Everybody, I always wait for people to like start watching it, and they're like, "In a world," I'm like, "I'll just wait."
In a world.
Just wait.
No, we'll play it again. It was fucking dope.
I just want to be the voice guy that can do that. Just in a trailer. It's like somebody hired me to do the voice over a trailer. I'll just be like, in a world. That's it.
Joe's my
That's all I
answering
do.
machine. He's like, call Sean Ahrendt back. He'll get back to you.
Call Sean Ahrendt
To leave a
for
message.
a good time.
Type 1.
So
I
go
like
to
that. I
this
like
trailer real quick. Yeah, type 1.
Like, I really like that.
In a world where creatures of myth and legend exist, a covert task force is charged with keeping humanity safe.
There's a link,
from
everybody. Go check it out.
threats.
And when young Nancy Moon stumbles into the eternal battle between good and evil, she finds... Oh my God, will you shut up? What's happening? Agent Beckett here. Aren't you tired of stuff like that? Want something different? Roll the tape.
Yeah.
Whoops. Sorry about that. That's a song I'm writing for my ex. Okay, here we go. Yeah, that's more like it. Alrighty. Welcome to the world of the Mythicals. We have it all. Monsters. Magic. Government agents. He's the strong silent type. This guy. Ugh, gross, dude. Get some kind of cream or something. Lots of 90s style action. Pew, pew, pew.
Yeah.
And that strong female lead alluded to earlier.
Oh.
Not to mention a dashing field commander with a great sense of fashion. Look at those glasses. South River Studios presents The Mythicals, Issue 1. Buy it if you dare. Oh, will you can it already? How'd you get free? Now beat it before I lose my cool.
So what are you waiting for?
Oh yeah.
Back it today. Like right now.
Back the Mythicals today.
Oh. That was I like that.
Nice.
Yeah, that's
That was
great.
dope.
It's very shit. Wrong format. Let me switch back here, guys. All right. Very funny trailer. I like that. You know, it's a little bit not norm at all. I like it. Very creative. Good job on that.
Yep.
Real quick, what's the Mythicals about? And we'll just take a quick look at the art while you're talking about the story, because you got some fantastic art on here.
Hell yeah.
It's a supernatural action mystery that it surrounds the level M, which is like a covert task force comprised of creatures from myths and legend. So it's kind of like the quick mashup, if you want to know. It's like Buffy the Vampire Slayer mixed with Wildcats with like a little bit of X-Files.
Nice.
I still remember that song. It's weird. I hadn't even thought of that.
That's a great show. It's a great shitty show.
Yeah,
it's a great shitty show.
Like they made Warblade, like the new guy or something. Wait a minute. What is this?
Yeah, the story not so much. The art was pretty cool, but I definitely remember the theme music. It will stick in my mind forever.
Yeah.
Wildcats.
Wildcats. It's so much you want to hear. Ah.
No, this looks really good. You are funded, which is awesome.
Yep.
You got a Peter Gilmore cover here.
That's a great cover.
It's just sick. Sick as hell.
Yep.
Got a Pope-like creature. I like that.
Yep. Awesome price point. Probably one of the best deals out there.
Also, I had seen, where's the other? I already passed it. There we go. Got a Dan Dahl Booty Juice cover, which is dude is all over the place right now, just kicking ass, making great art.
Yeah, hell yeah.
That looks fantastic. That looks great. Everybody go out and check Mythicals #1. You got tons of time to back this. 24 days left. It's already met its funding goal, sitting at $3,661. Yeah, and 75 backers. Let's get this to 100 backers. Let's go. Let's get it. Let's do it. There is a link down below. I saw Past Master Dan drop the link in the chat.
Yes,
everyone go check that out. It looks like a great book. We're going to also look at NyRiam's book here, which is Bonds.
Cursed Child.
The Cursed Child in a World. There we go.
Yeah, I'm doing the inner world.
I like it.
Type
I
of
like
trail.
it. This goal is also, or this is also funded. Also, that's great.
Congrats.
Congratulations.
104 backers, 11 days left. Hell yeah. Looking great. This is if you got, I mean, you guys know who NyRiam is. And great setup too. Like I remember when I was setting up the Reaper Destroyer page, I had asked a couple people in my group how they liked layouts for campaigns, and yours was specifically mentioned by a couple people of liking the layout of just how you have the graphic design of the page.
Yeah, I'm kind of trying to do the less words and more pictures kind of thing, and
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
and pretty much kept the layout from the first campaign, along with the even the tiers layout and everything, and even the names. I would like people by fifth book to already know what they're getting just by looking at it.
Yeah.
That's a great
Not-
idea. I'm gonna swipe that. I mean, I'm gonna put that in consideration.
You're
Yeah,
allowed
yeah.
to.
We got a Rick Saylor in the chat. Hail, Rick.
Hail,
Good
Rick.
to see you, brother.
Hail, Rick.
brother.
Yeah, just here again, lots of art on this page, which is great. If you're gonna sell a book, sell it with the art. Love it.
Yep.
Tell us a little bit about the
Well,
story, because this is the sequel for the last book, right?
Yeah, we're continuing. The first 3 books are going to be more introductory to characters, world building, and everything. Werewolf stuff, and there's going to be a lot of action.
Yeah.
Nice.
And training montage.
Oh
So
yeah.
everybody
Love
needs
the
to have
training montage. Gotta have it.
Need a montage.
Hey, I'm all about action. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at the trailer here real quick. I just wanted to cruise and see
those are
a lot of this
beautiful.
beautiful art here
Yeah.
we have on display.
I'm especially proud of this one, the 20 by 30 inches traditional piece.
Ooh.
And it's going to
Wow.
be a part of the stretch goals as a mini print if we actually get there. That would be really cool.
Yeah, that looks awesome.
Mhm.
Yeah, you both have done a great job on these campaigns. They both look really, really good. The production value on all the books, especially like the last past year and this year coming out, are just been insane. You guys, you'll get like Lost Pages with Diaz brothers, looking so great. Like everyone is really taking a step up in production quality of these books. Everything's looking really professional. Let's take a look at this trailer real quick.
I love the narration.
Montage.
It's like a modern day Rocky.
Yeah, a little bit.
15-year-old.
Hearts on fire.
I love that trailer. That was great.
Yeah,
How do you get the motion comics or the motion art? I see a lot of people doing that. How do you actually achieve that? Because that's really cool in a trailer.
I'm actually using this app called CapCut, but you need to have it in your phone. Unfortunately, the computer version doesn't have this, but they are using this like filter, 3D filter, and basically that's how you get it. You just slap a picture in it, and it's gonna spit out like a piece of video with this 3D effect.
Really? I've got that
Yeah.
app. I didn't realize I could do it. I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, hit me up if you don't know, because it's not like under effects. You need to go like edit and then click a bunch of stuff to actually get there.
Yeah, interesting, because I'd like to try that, because I've seen a few people do that with their trailers, and it looks good. It adds
Yeah.
something to the trailer, And I like that too. Like it was just pictures, just music and art. Let it speak for itself. Book looks great. Everybody go out and check it out. The link is below. It's also in the chat, I believe. I do believe our
It is.
mods threw it in there. Let's see, maybe not. Here, I'll throw it in if it's not. Do. There we go.
Wait, is that the app that you told me to download?
Yeah.
Okay, so you learn
Well,
and then you tell me. We're
Okay,
good.
I'll learn it, and then you
All right,
can
cool.
you can swipe it for me. I like that.
Sweet.
I love it. Well, everybody, go check out the Mythicals. Go check out Bond's The Cursed Child live at Indiegogo right now. Share it around if you haven't yet.
Man.
I almost said AI. Word of mouth is a huge thing. Just sharing something on social media, retweeting, liking a post, whatever, getting it out there. It helps creators out a lot, even if you can't back it at this point in time. So definitely do that if you see it here. Fun conversation. I don't think AI is going away anytime soon, but it's something that should be talked about. In my opinion, should be monitored and called out when you see it, and just keep an eye on it. I'm waiting for the first person to get really sued by somebody and see what that does to the whole movement.
Oh, that should be fun.
Yeah, and if it survives after that, I guess it was meant to be.
Maybe it's gonna be Zendaya.
It could be. I mean, it's insane.
Yeah.
All right, it's insane that it looks exactly like her. And again, I saw this other book that looked. The main character was like this female ninja character, and it looked exactly like T.A. Career from the 90s.
Yeah,
Straight
that's
up.
what it's like the audacity of these fucking people.
Yeah, and I was just like, okay, I can definitely tell the face that you use to generate to make sure the faces. And the thing was, I wish I grabbed a sample of that, because that was a perfect example of someone. It was just a bunch of model poses, and the entire page was this character walking for 6 panels at different angles, just walking and talking. Like that was it. Like it was horrible. And then like the next page was the character confronting the bad guy. The bad guy looked like Fassbender. Is it Michael Fassbender? Yeah, from the X-Men movies.
Like Magneto.
Magneto. Yeah. It looked like they used his face for that. So it looked like T.A. Career and Fassbender were having this conversation, and the Fassbender character had this just weird smile on his face the entire time. It was just anyway, yeah. It's like that kind of stuff. It's just crazy. But regardless, you're using somebody's likeness. At some point, somebody's going to be like, "I want the money you made off of me."
Well, so what about Sandman when it first started out? When he went down to hell, Lucifer. I mean, it's a straight David Bowie rip. Even the Lucifer series is. I mean, he looks just like David.
I've never
Bowie.
read Sandman, so I'm not sure. But if that's I think so. Caricatures of people.
But these are like portraits. These are rendered like complete portraits. I'm talking. What I'm talking about is like from the 80s. Yeah,
okay,
Sandman is just like it's done with a pencil.
That I don't know. That's a great point.
That's going to be their argument.
Yeah.
I see these things ahead of time. They're like, well, it's no different than ... Actually, it is.
Yeah.
Because even Neil Gaiman said Lucifer looks like David Bowie to me. That's how I told him to look like.
Yeah. I think the argument is definitely different, but it's good to get you. It's something good for them to throw out there that can stump you for a second.
Yeah.
Because it's different than specifically as the artist, as you're creating art with your hand, drawing a character with a person in mind. So you draw certain characteristics of their facial features. You are still not like taking their image specifically off a line, off of a paparazzi shot or off a movie poster or something, and then it's being generated. So there definitely, in my mind, is a difference.
Oh yeah, because I can say that looks like David Bowie. I look at this, like that is Zendaya.
That was sampled.
That's her, because the David Bowie had a different. He had like a red carrot top afro.
Yeah,
this is different. This is her.
Totally.
Hashtag
and by the way, guys who draw, like, hands up, like whenever you draw a character with some kind of facial expression, how many times do you catch yourself that you actually have that expression in your face?
Oh, yeah. All the time. All the time. Yeah, all the time.
Missing out on this.
I do the same thing when I'm drawing like an intense scene. Like I'll have a scowl on my face when I'm like, when it's like a fight scene. I'm just like, I'll notice, like I'll stop for a second. I'll have to unscrunch my face.
Make noises like
yeah.
I'm there. Like I'm in the scene. Yeah. So.
And just imagine, like, all of these AI artists just don't do that because no time.
They type it.
Yeah, it really robs some of the love out of making comics. Like I said before, it's just a cheap fast food way of doing it. It's like somebody that can't sing that gets their voice auto-tuned.
I was about to say auto-tuned,
so they can put out a hit song, right?
Yeah.
And that you didn't earn that. You didn't do anything that was special. Your voice was digitally changed so it sounded good. So you were doing the pitch, you're hitting those pitches and all that kind of stuff. But you can't really sing. So
yeah, Britney.
Yeah, I mean, it was when I was in the band, when I was in music, I had the same kind of thought when it came to people that the whole craze in the early 2000s where everybody was getting pitch corrected. everybody's putting like a digital tone on their voice, and it was selling. It was selling, millions of copies all across the world. And it was, to me, it was a cheat. To me, it was an absolute cheat. You can just go in the studio, sing as best as you can, and I'll just correct it with all these, with all these programs, and we'll make you sound good. Like it's, to me, that's it. That's just, it's a cheat, and all it is. And it pisses me off. You got the Ryan Cardinal in the house for the first time I've seen in a while, even, brother.
Right.
You guys already talked about the AI anime that the corridor. Did I say that right?
I've seen that.
Corridor
Yeah.
Crew?
It's not anime until it's made in Japan though.
It's absolutely groundbreaking for 2D animation. It sets the template for a small team to make fully animation. I've not seen it. As long as so it's AI generated though, or it's just like computer animation. Because I'm all about like technology. We're doing, computer generated stuff and, using technology that way, like you see in cartoons and stuff. If it's AI created, that's interesting, but I have not seen that. I know there's a couple mangas out there that people say they're pretty decent when it comes to the AI art. I don't know. I haven't checked all the stuff in general, but
But I'm almost like willing to bet you that the case is gonna happen when somebody's actually gonna come like with a decent story, but they're gonna do it with AI art, and there's gonna be a huge conflict about this. I can already see
it's inevitable. It's inevitable.
And there's gonna be this awoken crowd, like totally being all around it.
Yeah, it's going to heat up as it goes, especially as it gets a little bit better and more people do it. I think right now it's easy to kind of ignore and just get upset at, but if it actually does threaten sales, I guess, or like
money is the only way that this is going to get anything is going to move on this.
Yeah, like I said, it takes one nerd to hit it with the audio, something, and it could all come crashing down. So we'll see. We got Mighty Magic in the house. Hail coming up. Hail, brother, good to see you. Ryan said is then overlaid with AI. It's acted first and then overlaid with AI. Okay, so it's almost like was that motion
It's like
capture?
using filter.
Yeah,
I was going to think mocap.
Yeah, I have no problem with that because people have been doing that for years. Mortal Kombat and just other actually overlaying cartoons. Was it Lord of the Rings cartoon? I think was motion capture. A lot motion capture. That stuff I don't mind. That doesn't bother me so much. It's like when you make original stuff just straight generated from AI and you make a comic book. That's basically it. Like the AI stuff can be used in other genres of stuff, and I might not have as big of a problem. I have more of a problem when it's creating a comic book, because we talked about earlier just the way that goes into creating a comic book, the art of creating sequential storytelling, the history that's there. It's not just put something together sloppily and quickly to put it out and get somebody to buy it. So
it's like a cost cutting measure. Like I know that's why they're doing it. Like
100%. Yeah.
And then Midjourney is going to push it because eventually all this will lead to a license. And they can charge a subscription to these people, and they're like, "Oh,
they already are charging a subscription."
Yep.
So, like the Midjourney, I checked out Midjourney to see what it was all about, and I got the free version, which was shit. Yeah. But I could upgrade and pay money to it, and then I guess you get access to forums, and so all these people will go on and they'll share their generated art and get tips on how to make it better. And if I had more money, I'd just go in there and I'd start
write it off.
Yeah, right. So we'll see. Just keep an eye on it. That's my opinions. That's our opinions on it. I think most of us are kind of all in the same boat when it comes to that art as a comic book form. So, all right, guys, we're going to be back here next Tuesday at 10 o'clock. Appreciating comic book art. We're going to be looking at Ronin 2, Book 2, Issue 2. Ronin, Book 2, Issue 2. Say that right. It's going to be awesome. It's one of these things. If you like originally drawn art by people, you're going to love this book. Amazing art by Philip Tan, layouts by Frank Miller. This is, and we said this before the last time we looked at this book. This is probably one of the best books, in my opinion, that fuses manga and Western style art together. And it's really fascinating how Philip Tan, as an artist, bounces back and forth between the two kind of mediums within the book itself. It's very impressive, in my opinion.
Extraordinary. That's for sure.
I highly recommend go out and get it. Ronin book 2. You can track it, read it, and come and hang out with us every week after it comes out or thereabouts. And we'll look at the new issue and kind of break down art wise. So join us there at 10 o'clock Tuesday. Appreciating Comic Book Art Live. NyRiam, where are you going to be next and where can we follow you?
To be honest, I think next I will be somewhere next week. I need to check.
All
I need to check.
That
sounds great. That sounds great.
I know.
I will be there.
I really suck at this.
No
I'm
worries.
still trying to get appointments, like a lot of them. The problem is I'm having day job, so I need to schedule stuff very carefully so I can actually live and exist. So, but definitely like follow Twitter, follow Instagram. All the news are there. Whenever I'm supposed to be somewhere, I just let out the tweet, that I'm gonna be there and there with this and that person, and it's
Oh yeah. Right, so we all look sexy as fuck. I like that.
Moisturize.
I like that. So basically follow NyRiam and you'll be able to know when she's going live on somebody's channel because she will tweet it out and you'll jump in the chat and have a lot of fun. Like it. Hojo, what about you? What are you up to, man? Where are you?
I'm on Twitter.
Your book out there.
I'll be on Nighthawks tomorrow with Arvid.
Love those guys.
Yeah,
it's a great show. I have a fun
Arvid's
time
great
every time
guy.
over there.
Yeah. So you can find me on Twitter. Not that hard. I'm just hanging out. So
I just checked it. I'm gonna be at Eagle Riders tomorrow at 7 p.m.
7 p.m. Eagle Riders tomorrow. All right.
Yes.
Excellent. Everybody check out those 2 times and those 2 dates. Sean, what about you, man? What's going on?
I'll be here. I'll be there. Sign for Type 1. And don't forget about Sean.
Hashtag never forget about Sean.
Ever.
What
Your
about
room
you?
looks like an ice cave, by the way, like from Frozen.
I like that. I like that. Party time.
Let it go.
I got the remote.
Let it go. All right. I can sing that entire song. I've seen that movie a million times. I actually like
you got little girls.
I do. I got one little girl.
Yeah.
I took my niece and my nephew when it came out, and my mom, and I'm horrible. When it got brought to the attention that the prince was like a dickhead, I was like, what a cunt. Now I'm in the theater of all parents and all children, and like there's just all whiplashes, and I'm like,
how dare you, sir?
It was a good movie.
Shown with no filter.
It was awesome.
Jersey, I apologize.
All right, everybody, you can follow me on Twitter and social media, Joe Sontag, Joe M. Sontag. It'll pop up. Reaper Destroyer live in Indiegogo now. I'm trying to get to 900 backers. Would be awesome. We are sitting at 867, I believe. So that is the goal, to get to 900 before this thing ends. Until then, everybody be good to each other. Take care of one another. And as always, picture me naked. Talk to you later. Peace.